Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to do what if Jordan made an empire. First thing they will do is declare war on Israel and Palestine. They begin moving in from the south of the southern part of their border with Israel, pushing in to get a border with the Mediterranean, and they push up into Palestine, completely occupying them before completely occupying Israel. After that, they fully annex both countries, and once they have done that, they will declare war on Lebanon and Cyprus. They push up from the south, swiftly taking over the entirety of Lebanon, and then sending their navy, newly acquired navy, over to Cyprus, naval invading in the south, then quickly pushing up north, occupying the entire island, and then annexing both Lebanon and Cyprus. After they have done that, they will declare war on Syria, pushing in from the land they gained just recently to capture their capital, as well as pushing in from their actual main border. After they have made it this far, begin pushing up along the coast, and then begin pushing in inwards. After Syria has lost this much land, they decide to surrender under the condition that they get to exist as a puppet government, having these two areas under their control, while Jordan gets to annex the rest. Then they decide to declare war on Iraq and Kuwait, get proper access to the other ocean here, the Iranian Sea, I think it is. Begin pushing in from here, getting their Syrian puppet to push in up in the north, swiftly cutting off the Iraqi border with Turkey, and also swiftly connecting the front lines with occupied land, then beginning to push down towards the coast. And they have been completely stopped here, so the push in the north gets more attention by by Jordan's military. After Iraq manages to get a hold of enough troops, they stop the northern front, making Jordan collect troops here to get a breakthrough. After managing to do that, they complete 2 encirclements and swiftly annihilating both of them. Then manage to continue pushing into Iraqi territory, even making another big encirclement, and they have now successfully captured the Iraqi capital and are now continuing to push down. Iraq decides not to surrender because of how Kuwait is also in the war, so they want to give them as much time as possible to prepare. They are doing everything they can to stop the Jordan's and Syria's army, but in the end they fail and they meet up at the Kuwaitan border. Just when they do that, the negotiations between Kuwait and Saudi Arabia have completed, and Saudi Arabia joins in on the war. Then Jordan has to use the reserves they had on the Saudi Arabian coast to push out a little bit so that they don't lose their capital. Then they begin pushing out from the entire borders, with Jordan, with Kuwait having fortified their borders. Jordan couldn't push through, with them even having fortified their border with Saudi Arabia and also fortified their coast. They pushed down the Saudi Arabian coast till they meet the UAE, and then they have a third of their total armored vehicles and forces here have a whole 10% of the army, including a third of their armored vehicles here, to push through their defenses, which they successfully do, completely putting the country in chaos and occupying it within days. They then continue pushing down the west coast of Saudi Arabia, or south coast, and after managing to completely take over the Saudi Arabian coast as well as their island, this island, they begin closing in from the very top, taking over quite a lot of cities. So they hope that Saudi Arabia will just surrender after they have pushed far enough in. But at the pace they are going now, it will take an eternity before Saudi Arabia finally surrenders. So they have decided to invade Qatar without declaring war. After doing that, they get embargoed by nearly every single country in the world for illegally declaring war on another country, although not much is done about them doing so. After doing that, they swiftly push in the southern part of Saudi Arabia. For some reason, them doing that managed to allow them to more quickly move through the desert. That is in the middle of Saudi Arabia. Managed to make it a little past the middle before they had to stop and set up more camps and infrastructure around there. Meaning that if Saudi Arabia were to be able to push them back, they would have a lot of infrastructure in the inland, even more than what they have now. And after they have taken over this much land, Saudi Arabia decides to surrender. And this part of Saudi Arabia, as well as the entirety of Qatar, is puppeted. while the Syrian puppet will be given this amount of land in Iraq, while the rest will be annexed by Jordan. And after they have fully annexed all of the territories they just gained in the war, they will look like this. This is the Jordanese Empire, the Empire of Jordan. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one.